My husband knocked out my brother for calling me a Lara. And now my parents want me to choose. What is the right choice? Original post. Sorry for the throwaway account. I have colleagues on my main account, and I want to keep this as private as possible, but I also need advice. As my title says, basically, this past weekend, my husband and I were over at my parents' house for a barbecue. The day was going great until my brother, for some reason, started to have a go at me, calling me names and belittling me. My husband pulled my brother aside and had a talk with him, and the insults stopped. An hour or so later, we were standing around talking with some friends and family members, and my brother came up to me and told me I'm a censored. His exact words were, "You know you are a censored, right?" He said it loud enough for almost everyone at the party to hear. All I saw was my husband next to me look at me. Then I felt a push to the side, my husband stepping in front of me, and the next thing was my brother out cold on the ground with blood on his face. All I heard is my mother yelling and my husband saying, "You don't talk to my wife like that. I warned you already." Before I continue, my husband didn't hurt me. He didn't push me hard or anything like that. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like a push that someone will give you when they are trying to pass. I went like one step back. That is all. I am not mad at my husband. I'm mad at my brother. The whole day he was demeaning me, insulting me, belittling me. I don't know where this came from, as he has never talked to me like that or to anyone that I know of. The bigger problem is that I have to choose either my husband or my parents. My parents are pissed and have given me an ultimatum. I either leave my husband and divorce him, or they cut me off completely. My husband doesn't give a crap that they are mad. The only thing he is mad about, in his words, is that he only got one punch in. I love my husband and don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to lose my parents. They have supported me through a lot and have always been there for me. I know they are serious, as this is the first time they have ever issued me with an ultimatum. They also threatened my husband with an assault charge, but he didn't care and welcomed them to do it. I'm stuck between a decision that will change my life forever, and I'm panicking. I have received messages from friends and other family members that have given me support and condemned my husband, but they are leaning more on the support side. Any advice will be appreciated. Edit to clarify, I'm choosing my husband. I have never questioned that, but I also don't want to lose my family. I am very family-oriented, and family to me is everything. I want to find a solution where I can keep both. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Info. Why do your parents think it's okay that your brother called you names? What is their excuse? OOP. They haven't excused his actions, but they are condemning my husband for resorting to violence. Commenter 2. What kind of family does this stuff? It sounds very dysfunctional. What were the circumstances whereby your brother goes off on you like that? Now your parents issue an ultimatum? I appreciate that your husband stuck up for you, but that was a terrible political move. OOP. One thing about my husband. He is sweet and gentle, but he has never cared what someone else thinks about him other than me and his own mother. OOP's thoughts on violence and how her husband had done this to her brother. OOP. My husband doesn't resort to violence. I have never seen him really angry, and what I saw in his face was just anger. I don't know how to describe it. This is the first time I have seen him react violently to anything. My husband doesn't care at all. The only people's opinions that matter to him are mine and his mother's. My brother, as well, has never talked to me like that at all. This is the first time. OOP's husband needs to earn her parents' forgiveness for what he has done to their son/her brother. OOP. My husband honestly doesn't care. When I asked if he would apologize for reacting with violence just to keep the peace, he told me my brother and parents can go censored themselves. My husband has tried to cheer me up, but he hasn't pushed anything on me. He hasn't given me an ultimatum to choose him or anything. He apologized for putting me in the position with my parents, but he isn't sorry for knocking out my brother. In my husband's words, I asked him nicely to stop, and I did tell him he will face the consequences if he continued, and he didn't listen. He doesn't care what people think of him. The only opinions that matter to him are mine and his own mother's. OOP on if she had dated someone before her husband. Any chances that her brother called her names for another reason like cheating? OOP no. My husband was my first, and I have never done anything else with anyone except my husband. Update. First, I would like to thank everyone, and I want to apologize as well for the way I worded my post. It's no excuse, but my emotional state isn't the best. Unable to link my previous post, just look at the account. My husband is my choice, and I have no intentions of leaving him at all. Never have. I know it's early for an update, but I'm more confused now about what is going on. My parents invited me over to have a talk with them, but they wanted me to come alone as they didn't want my husband at their house. My husband refused to let me go alone and said if he isn't going, then he won't allow me to. He basically said, with you alone there, they will just pile on you, and that I won't let happen. So we went together. My parents weren't happy to see him, and my mother wanted to say something until my husband told her he isn't there for them but for me, and if he is forced to leave, I will leave with him. I agreed with him. Reluctantly, they agreed. My brother was there as well. He has a broken nose and chipped teeth and refused to look at me or my husband. He just kept looking at the ground, even while talking. Apparently, what happened with my brother is that he broke up with his girlfriend a month ago. It's more like she broke up with him. I don't know the reason. Don't care. I wasn't aware of this as we aren't close like that. According to him, the reason he had a go at me this weekend is because of my life. According to him, my perfect life with my husband kept popping up on his feeds, and he got jealous. Everything on my social media is with my husband. I don't really use it for anything else, but his feed was full of my posts, and that set him off as I had something that he didn't. It got worse when he overheard me and my mother talking when I had a discussion with her over children. My husband and I are currently trying to have a baby, and that just made everything worse in his head. His life was falling apart, and mine was going perfectly, and I had and was trying to have what he wanted with his ex. He said he didn't take my husband seriously when he pulled him aside, and my husband warned him. I seriously don't know why he went after me, as nothing he said was true in any sense. And I did ask him why he said those things. He refused to answer me. I asked him why the censored comment, because he knows my husband was my first in everything, and it has only been him all these years. He refused to answer. I asked him if trying to have a baby with my husband makes me as censored as it involves sex, and he just left the room. I asked my parents why they didn't step in and tell my brother to leave or stop. My dad said he wanted to, but my mother told him to leave my brother as he is not actually hurting anyone. The same with the ultimatum. They wanted to protect my brother. I asked, "What about me?" And they were silent. All my father said was the ultimatum was my mother's idea, and he went along with it. This is basically where we are at the moment. A lot more was said, but I don't think it matters. My husband did apologize to my parents for what happened, but refused to apologize to my brother. When my mother asked him to apologize to my brother, he outright said no. He won't apologize for standing up for me, and my brother got what he deserved. He was warned and didn't listen. My mother said it still doesn't excuse him for hitting my brother. My husband asked my dad what he would do if someone called his wife a censored. My father said, "I will have a talk with that person, but will never hit someone." My husband laughed and told my dad he is a weak-willed, spineless man if he allows someone to demean his wife like that. That got my mom red in the face. I could see her get angry. That is when I told my husband it's time to leave. I told my parents that I will be going low contact with them, and the ultimatum they gave me broke the trust one had in them. I understand they wanted to protect my brother, but in doing that, they hurt me. This seemed to take all the anger out of my mother. They asked if I will be cutting them out completely, and I told them that is up to them. I don't want anything to do with my brother at the moment, as he can't even apologize for what he said to me. I told them if they can respect my wishes, we will see. When we got up to leave, my husband went over to my parents and actually still greeted them politely, but told my dad it's time to grow a backbone. I don't know what I saw, but I think it was shame on my mother's face because my dad looked at my mother, and she looked away from him. This is where we are at the moment. My husband, on the way back home, apologized for possibly escalating things but told me it was time someone told my dad the truth. He said whatever punishment comes, he will take and deal with any fallout. I don't need to worry or stress about anything. Edit. My brother's ex cheated on him, and apparently he begged her to fix things, but she chose the other guy. And now he is just pissed and angry at every woman and believes we will all do that eventually. Got a message from my cousin. The family had a go at my parents for allowing my brother to talk to me the way he did, and they came clean as to why he did what he did. But they couldn't do it when I was over and we talked. They couldn't be honest with me and just refused to answer. Additional information from OOP. OOP. Honestly, really thinking about it, the only person I have felt genuine, unconditional love and support from is my husband. There are a lot of things I just swept under the rug and thought it was siblings things. But looking back, whenever my brother had a difficult time, it was taken out on me in some way, and my parents have never stuck up for me. My husband has had my back around every corner and has never thrown things in my face like my parents or brother have. OOP on her parents' relationship and why they are not hearing her out. OOP. My father just follows what my mother said. In my 26 years of life, I have never seen my dad go against my mother with anything. Anything she says or wants to do is fine with him, no matter the cost. For instance, my dad basically has no friends as my mother didn't like them. So he gave them up and hasn't made new friends because when he tried, my mother finds something she doesn't like about that person, and he agrees. OOP should have gone alone to talk with her parents and brother about her husband's behavior. OOP. So I should take the way he worded it over the fact that he wanted to be there and make sure I'm not getting gaslight? I took it as he wanted to ensure I'm safe, and what happened doesn't happen again. My wording is bad as my emotional state isn't the best. That is on me, and I should have probably double-checked everything before posting. But his emotional state can't be any better than mine. He is dealing with everything, and on top of that, he is trying his best to keep my mood up. I know it sounded bad, but I took what he said with all the other actions he took so far to keep me safe. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.